Well, now we're going to take a pause in talking about AEW for a second to talk about the rest of Kenny's week. Because after he went out there and did a live interview, not well, but he did it and confused quite a bit of the issue until finally they got out that they're going to have a tag team match on the pay-per-view. By Friday? He's twittering, "Oh, I'm in the hospital. I'm out of action. I'm in bad health. I suffered through the pain too long, but now I got to do something about it."
I have the exact tweet here, just for the record.
Go ahead.
I can't really sugarcoat this. I'm out indefinitely. I tried to keep pushing past the pain for as long as I could, until it became too much. Luckily, doctors caught me when they did. I'll be here, so in the meantime, please enjoy wrestling, with a photo of an unkempt Kenny Omega with a thumbs up for a positive spirit.
In a hospital gurney, bed, apparatus, gown, some description. It might be a gown he wears at home.
No, that is a hospital gown. There are different
looks
kind
like
of
a
gowns at home.
gown he might lounge around in.
That's a hospital gown. Stop it.
Well, I don't mean to accuse him of not being fashionable, but, But nevertheless, this is fucking Friday. And he just set up. You had to know. Did you not have to know? Did he just... Because here's the problem. You know what they've said that he's got. He didn't say it there, but you know what a lot of people are saying. Diverticulitis. He got problems with his guts, Brian. He's got a bad gut problem. And I'm wondering, was the thing that gave him the biggest stomach ache when everybody universally said, "What the fuck was that segment? Who the fuck wants to see that match that they just set up last night?" Because he looked like he didn't give a shit to begin with. And he just now suddenly, even though I said this 2 days ago, I can't take it anymore. I'm fucking done. I'm out. I'm gone. Wouldn't you have had some idea that maybe as a professional athlete, something was going on that might prevent you from doing your job, especially the shit that you just advertised 48 hours ago? That's my first question on all of this. And then secondly, is there now any doubt that karma is a real thing? You heard about the video game, right?
I know about this. Now, we don't know for sure that he was the person that named the maneuver. I don't know if you want me to say it or if you were waiting for the big reveal, but we don't know if he was the person responsible directly or not.
Well, the big reveal was revealed when people started laughing about this. And we're not making mockery of any medical condition that Mr. Olivier might have. We're making mockery of the timing and how somebody else has pulled the rug out from under Tony Khan, the most agreeable boss in the world. But apparently a bunch of the fans jumped in to say that, well, how ironic that it would be that Kenny would get diverticulitis, an inflammation or what, a disease of the intestines, because that's the same thing that Brock Lesnar got that took him out of fighting in the UFC for what, a year and a half or so. And in the AEW video game, they have you able to do Brock Lesnar's finish, the F5, but they couldn't call it the F5. I guess WWF's got that trademarked. So they named the F5 in the video game that Kenny was the point person for, in charge of, if not responsible for all details, diverticulitis. So it's just, you can't write this shit that they make a video game that not only bombs, but the guy that is in charge of the video game has the same illness that they are mocking Brock Lesnar for having in their video game that bombed. And that guy was the point person for production of aforesaid video game. What the fuck it's not Vince Russo, it's O. Henry writing this shit.
You know, when he came back, I got some grief from people because I said he came back too soon. He was out for a while. and he still came back too soon. He had to wear a bodysuit the first time. He clearly was physically in a lot of pain. And you would hear from people in the company that Kenny Omega is very clearly in a lot of pain. So, not surprised that he's in a lot of pain. Surprised at the timing, I guess, but he's saying that he just discovered quickly that he had diverticulitis. I don't know too much about it. I think of the Joe Piscopo bit on SNL, like at 81.
Boy, but if he's pushing through severe abdominal pain without getting it diagnosed, it's not hard I don't think, to diagnose diverticulitis or to figure it out that you've got it. But if he wasn't going to oh shit, my fucking guts are on fire, but I'll be all right. You're a professional athlete and you're advertising matches and pay-per-views and etc. Go to the fucking doctor. It's not a goddamn, oh shit, I hurt my fucking knee in a match. It couldn't be helped. That's an ongoing medical condition that I would assume would be getting worse. And you would figure one would do something about it before 2 days after you announce your pay-per-view match in 2 weeks.
Think about how WWE lucked out with the Elite renewing with AEW. Because they would have spent a lot of money on Kenny Omega. It would have been like when a Major League Baseball team signs a player off a great year and they play like 30 games over the next 2 years because they're always hurt. He re-signed. Kenny Omega's style of wrestling isn't conducive to keeping him out of the hospital. And I'm not even joking about that.
No, I know.
His style.
That's the funny part.
Yeah, his style of wrestling, you can't work a match like he does that he's built up the reputation for having without fucking yourself up. That's why traditionally guys didn't work like that. Most guys don't do a flip under their ass over and over the top rope to the floor. So, he's safe because he has an AEW contract and he's someone that Tony Khan loves and protects. But I don't know how much more in the ring we're going to see Kenny Omega. I mean, even now they were trying to get him into tag matches and kind of hide him there. But he can't go the way he has gone. I don't know if this is the kind of guy that could transition to a different style. Again, I actually just hope he gets better. Like I said, it's been very well known that he has been in a tremendous amount of pain for quite a while. He shouldn't have come back when he came back. He was out a long time. He should have been out a lot longer because of his style of wrestling. Whatever damage has been done to his body, whatever is just happening naturally. Again, I don't know too much about diverticulitis or how that happens, but, Omega's been fucked up for quite a while.
Well, and you just hit on something else that, again, Tony Khan has saved the WWE a lot of money, because if they had signed them and the other two dipshits, the Buckaroos, just because they were hot and they didn't want somebody else to have them, and they had gone that way, well, we've talked about Kenny by now would probably been released because he would have driven them crazy or vice versa. And they would have got the Buckaroos, and they would have been not only miserable because they'd have never put them over in a top spot under Vince or Triple H, I don't think. They would have just collected them so the billionaire rich kid didn't get them.
They'd be wrestling Gargano and Ciampa on Mondays.
Yeah, but they would have paid them a lot of money. And they would have got nothing out of the Buckaroos in that company. Look at who's on top now, and explain to me how they would fit in. So they would have spent a lot of money on those three guys just so Tony wouldn't get them. So Tony saved them money, and in the end, by the time Tony's finished with them, they will not be an addition to the WWE or even on the WWE's radar. He will have neutralized, or time will have, in the case of Kenny, probably, any appeal they would have, and WWE doesn't have to sign them at all. The Bucks have never been less over, and Kenny won't make it till the end of his contract to be signing anything big with the WWE to begin with.
WWE gets Cody, they get Punk. AEW got Danielson. Danielson can't stay healthy. Omega's one of their top stars. He certainly is not going to be able to stay healthy. They signed Will Ospreay. Again, another guy, his style, we'll see how much longer he can hold. I mean, I know he's a younger guy too, but there has to be a real conversation. with these. I mean, maybe they know it. If I wrestle this style, I'll be really fucked up by the time I'm 40.
Well, no,
they accept that. I mean, that's the reality of it. You're going to be fucked up by the time you're 40.
To be honest, that may have played a part in whatever offer or whatever negotiations they made with Ospreay. Because I can't imagine that they wouldn't say up front, and I can't imagine that he wouldn't go in knowing that if he signs with the WWE, he's not going to be doing a lot of the shit that he's been doing because they don't make major investments in talent and then let him do all that shit. And I mean, there's the big spot where they come off the top through the fucking announce desk and blah, blah, blah. But just some of the made up, let's see what's laying around and work something out in our head and talk it over in the locker room or what, that shit he wouldn't be doing. Not working for them. Did they tell him that? And he said, well, Tony will let me do it and he'll pay me more money because he's a mark? Or was it that he doesn't want to do it, but Tony expects him to do it, but Tony's paying him more money than the WWE was going to because Tony's a mark? But I'm sure that was told. If Will Ospreay spoke to the WWE and anybody in that talent relations office, they would say, you're not going to be goddamn doing triple, quadruple flips off the top rope through random fucking tables working for us.
But Tony can give him more money right off the bat and also give him Wembley. So we'll see what happens there. But
and does anybody think, obviously they wouldn't have brought Ospreay to the main roster because nobody knows who he is and they don't know who he is. They would have changed his name and they probably would have given him some kind of gimmick. So I think a lot of people are thinking, he would have showed up on Raw or SmackDown if he'd have signed. But no, he'd have been in NXT for a fucking year too. And Tony is going to bring him right in and just tell everybody he's great.
Well, I have one final thing here we'll do as an update on the Omega situation. But, it's telling WWE is signing these guys. Look at who AEW is signing. Adam Copeland, Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega's contract, and now this situation. Ibushi, who's shot.
I forgot about him.
Shibata, who's been Shibatamized. I mean, look at the Will Ospreay.
It's a Shibatomy.
That should be his finishing move.
That should be the name of a finish.
That should be his finisher, the Shibatomy. It says something about who's getting signed where, but let me read this quote. This is from Dave Meltzer. I did not hear if he had surgery yet on it, but he was rushed to the hospital Friday. He had been in a lot of pain, and he thought what happened was, you probably all remember, he had that hernia that was really, really bad, which caused him that long, long period off. He had been hurting really, really bad, and he presumed it was a hernia. He had bloating, which he thought he may have messed up on his diet somehow, and eaten something wrong. But he just kept training on it, working on it, and did the match with Ethan Page. He was hurting really bad on Wednesday when he did the promo with Jericho.
So were we all.
By that point, it was really bad, so he went to the hospital and found out he had diverticulitis. It was a really bad situation in the sense of, if he had not gone in another day or so, it could have been horrendous. So the situation, very, very serious.
It's very horrendous in Dave's mind. But then
Kenny thought he had a bad meal, and it turned out it was diverticulitis.
Why did he say, yeah, Tony, I'll be glad to plug this pay-per-view match for you. I'm at death's door. I don't know if I can hang on much longer, but...
Kenny, are you okay? Yeah, I'm just a little bloated.
Yeah, it's just some bloating. I don't know, it happens every 4 weeks or so. The cramps, the bloating. I don't know. I'm stuck in some kind of monthly pattern I can't get out of.
Well, it sucks to laugh about this, but AEW just can't get out of their own way. I mean, that's really the story. And whether it's them doing things or just the bad mumbo jumbo or the bad, whatever you want to say,
it's the bad mojo.
The bad mojo around it.
You never spent too much time in New Orleans, did you?
No, I have not. I'm not into the humidity, but it's getting real hot under the collar for AEW.
Yeah, you got the mojo down there. You got the mojo from the Cajuns and the voodoo people, brother.